One of the best things about living in Hamilton, Ontario is that it's a very no rules type of situation. There's a lot of people here that are on the vanguard of art and design. A lot of the artists in Hamilton are finding that it can be part of their success, to be different, to be unusual. I've always used avant-garde approach in my art and design. I think it's important to stimulate people because of the homogeneity of our culture. It's important to stimulate, but it's also useful because you can attract those tastemakers in our culture that eventually are pulled on to someone and then move that to everyone else. I'm often very inspired by materials themselves, raw materials, what you can do with them, what you can't. In my teenage years I started knitting. Knitting was fun for me because it allowed me to make some of my first thing. You know, it taught me a lot about design, and then from there I started felting wool. When you have felted wool, you can start getting into paneling. So I started experimenting with cardboard paneling, so I would envision a three-dimensional object and make it out of cardboard first and make sure it all fit together. I worked with leather a lot too. Leather is very similar. I kind of following on that same line, I started using leather in paneling too and started experimenting more with ornamentation through the leather. So you see the materials were teaching me different techniques. I have a large interest in production. Ralph Lauren began with making ties. You know, it was a very simple thing that he did for himself, and then other people liked it and they wanted him to make them for him. So my tie as a cabinet maker and as a designer is picture frames. I'll do the same frame style in different types of woods, accent the art that I'm framing, and I'm having quite a bit of success with that. My style I would describe as classic. I think in our information age you can't help but be informed by all the furniture that came before you, and it's part of my design process to make things that are both classic in style but also in technique. I'm going to focus on, you know, traditional artisanal approaches to furniture. The way I plan to build things is not unlike most designers. I have a sketchbook that I work in all the time. Whenever I'm inspired, I'll draw pictures, work with those pictures, work on certain design elements that look good in a sketch, and then I'll go from a sketch to a scale drawing so that I can really fine-tune the proportions, and then I'll start to think about construction and material. You know, it's kind of the engineering side of furniture. You have to be able to make what you've conceptualized strong so that people can use it. At this point in my life, I've realized I'm a creative person. All my projects have been self-motivated, so I never really had a mentor in my work. So right now I'm looking for a mentor. This contest would offer me an opportunity to spend time, which I never seem to have enough of, and it would give me the money to produce something really wonderful.